Rick and Michonne's escape mission begins. But it's not an escape mission, while Michonne also has a mission to convince Rick, who doesn't believe this can work. What will happen now that they fell from the helicopter? Will CRM start chasing them? How will they deal with it? Yeah, there's a lot of questions about this episode 3 of The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live. Then we go to the review and recap of everything. If you wanna know, let's go. Hello everyone who watching this beautiful channel, my name is João Victor and I'm here to talk about The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live again. Now the first half of this show has just ended, but the most exciting part of this show has just begun. Escape mission that maybe it's gonna be changed for an attack mission. We have a lot to say about this third episode, we have a lot to explain, so don't forget to give the like, don't forget to subscribe in this channel. I'd like to thank everyone for the support, for everything, and also if you can share with your friends or with your family, please do that, it's gonna be very helpful. So let's go. Yeah, let's talk about this first episode of Rick and Michonne's escape mission that advances the story well while explaining a lot about the past. Yeah, we have this beginning about the first months of Rick and Jadis on the CRM, but the entire episode is full of transitions and incredible construction that once again resembles a movie. But back to the beginning, we have here a focus on years before, probably the first months after Rick had already recovered from his injuries and he got to know the community. As a worker, he has a free time to enjoy the square, but when he met Jadis, we start with the first good explanation of this episode. The explanation straight away about how Jadis and her group were related to the CRM. She says here that they were contacted and the CRM proposed sending people in exchange for the supplies, but this explanation makes me think there's a lot of another groups that CRM have contacted. I really don't think it was only this group. But going back to this scene, we can see Jadis, who has been free in the Civic Republic for like a month, and she's amazed by it. Looks like right now she has the life she always dreamed, and at this time she's not an enemy yet. She looks like a guide for Rick. She believes that Rick will cooperate and also demanding the gratitude of "I saved your life." We can see here that she repeated this after years and years and keeps saying the same thing in the present. But there we go, the episode jumps to hours later from the last scene of the episode 2 when Rick talks to Jadis. That's the moment Thorne arrives in Rick's apartment. She's desperate about the Okafor's death. The moment that Rick has just arrived from the helicopter crash and Rick's trying to convince Thorne to protect Michonne and not let her be processed as an A, like to protect her. And I have to say she's a very important character on this episode, and based on the others, the episode 1 and 2, I was thinking this could be the episode that Thorne died, because in the first episode we have a lot of focus on Okafor and he dies in this episode. The second one is the same thing with Nat, but here they broke this sequence. So going back to the present time, the conversation between Jadis and Rick, here I have to talk a lot about the performance of Pollyanna McIntosh. She makes those who are watching even angry at Jadis, and I have to say about the performance of Andrew Lincoln here, he makes you feel how Rick is desperate about this. Now he can't see a way out, because even if he tries to kill Jadis, she's prepared. We see in this scene an explanation about why Jadis let Rick try to escape. It happens because Jadis knew that Rick couldn't escape the CRM alone in the past, but now she makes threats because she knows that Rick and Michonne together can do anything. This can certainly motivate Rick even more to beat the CRM. So let's go to the Michonne's perspective. She is a worker like Rick in the episode 1, and here we have a lot of reference to Judith. In the entire episode we have Michonne's writing a letter for Judith. The idea she wants to go home, she really believes they gonna do this. And yeah, the sequence of Michonne saving the other consignee there, it's crazy, it's insane to see the action scene. But the problem here is that she exposes her ability as an A, and that makes them starts to suspect her. Going back to Rick, we have the Okafor's funeral with Major General Bill making several military references to the past and also making several references that he suspects Rick. He really is an observant villain and the show is keeping him. They're not showing what he's capable so far. They are keeping here probably for the last episode. I think they are doing this because by this time the main villain have to be Jadis. But after this we can see how the Okafor death affects Thorne in good and bad way. The bad way is because she got sad, and the good way is because she got a promotion. Yeah, she is now a frontliner, a very important important position inside the CRM. Right now she knows a lot of secrets. And by watching this, I also think this is some kind of strategy of Major General Bill, because he suspects Rick, and whatever Rick is doing behind him, the moment that he promotes Thorn to a frontliner, he moves Thorn close to the CRM vision. And whatever Rick's planning and trying to ask for her help, she mostly gonna decline. And in this scene, we can see that it works. The reason she's talking to Rick here is to let him know that she is not gonna help Michonne anymore. So that's the moment that moves Rick to start his plan to put Michonne out. And this is great to see. He hears an explosion and notes the time, see the map, and analyzes everything that looks like a prison break scene. And the way they wrote this makes us who are watching to believe Rick's gonna escape with Michonne. But the great twist here, it's also a twist for Michonne when she finds out that Rick's not going. Rick basically worked everything out because he saw that there was no way to escape with Michonne. So he stayed to try to control everything there while she escaped. And Jade is accepting the idea to cover everything about Michonne makes me believe that she wants to have Rick in her hands. But I had to say, it was incredible to hear from Rick about her shit haircut. It was really nice. So there's a good decision here from production to make Michonne don't escape. And if they had done that, that would have interfered with the meaning of the show. So I'm happy about it. I also need to mention about the phone scenes. That's the explanation about the Rick's phone. She finds the little store inside the city where Rick got the drawings on his cell phones, and that's another point to motivate her. And if in this time Michonne was thinking they brainwashed Rick, this moment motivates her to believe a little bit longer. That's the phrase. It moves us to a scene full of tension, especially when Thorn throws Michonne against the wall and comes close to wanting to kill her. It really keeps you in the story too much. The tension here is so real, and you really don't know if you expect a fight or if you expect someone to kill Thorn, and they kept everything in the same way. They move us to Michonne as a military. At this time she's not a military, but she's using a military armor because right now they're going to do a job to kill some walkers. But I had to say, this new CRM base is located in Cascadia Mountains, and it is so close to Portland. Think about it. Just think about it. The special thing here is their trip to the field show us a new creative ways to eliminate zombies, like the gun that Rick uses and the car that runs over. The Rick and Michonne's kiss scene bothers me a little bit because they are in the middle of a fight. They are exposed in the field. I'm not saying I don't like to see Rick kissing Michonne or anything, no. I mean that didn't need to be such a long kiss scene in such an exposed location. I can say that this was the only point that slightly bothered me, but it doesn't take away my interest or the shine of the episode, because we have here Thorn almost killing Michonne. That makes a lot of reference to Shane in season 2 of The Walking Dead, and it shows how she is worried about Michonne. I don't know if she really likes Rick, but the most important thing here is the revelation that Major General Bill wants to promote Rick to frontliner. So if Rick stays in the CRM, the next step is to find out a lot of the secrets, and it makes Rick to being so hard on Michonne, and it's the most unexpected thing we could see here. But it is a good and surprise addition that prompts a scary final scene. Michonne pulling Rick from the helicopter made me jump from my seat, really. And the reason is she did it because she likes to have a talk with Rick. She likes to get his head straight. And I have to say, this is a completely engaging episode with drama, action, and surprises at every moment that once again has a very convincing script that makes us to understand why Rick has no way out. At the same time, we understand why Michonne wants to show him the truth. Here, Michonne saw something that she's gonna tell Rick, and it's probably something that's gonna help them to defeat the CRM. Yeah, I'm gonna make another video talking a lot about it. I can say this episode is in the same level of the episode 2. I really preferred the first one, but everything is in high level. It's crazy to know that I have to wait another week to see what comes next, and I have to know your opinion. Put in the comments, and don't forget to like, to give the like, to subscribe subscribed to the channel. I will keep with 2 or 3 videos weekly. I'll be back and bye!